From the outside looking in, the Powerpuff Girls may not look that strong. Since they're a kids show, they have a lot of goofy moments of them struggling with certain things they shouldn't based on their strength, like them struggling to get out of bubble gum. Yeah. The Powerpuff Girls are very powerful. One of the few times they got outmatched was against the Rowdy Rough Boys. They had to beat them by using their feminine energy against immature boys that didn't like being kissed by girls. That's funny. Sugar, spice, and everything nice, and the ingredient of Chemical X in this universe created the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, it doesn't make sense creating living beings off of sugar and spice and everything nice, but yeah. To defend against the forces of evil, and it's my childhood. Each member of the Powerpuff Girls has super strength, but they do have other miscellaneous abilities, like one of them having ice breath and etc. One of them specializing in strength, Green Hulk, I see what they did there. And one that is more savage. Blossom, for example, has ice breath. Yeah, she's even done stuff like this to freeze meteors before. Small demonstration of their blast power. Even when she wants to have fire breath, I guess, as a gag at the end of the episode. But Bubbles technically has an energy aura, energy projection. Funny, right? This kind of proves that they're all relative in overall power because Bubbles can do this to other members. Sleepy. And Bubbles can communicate with animals. And can speak Spanish. And she technically has a sonic scream that can cause crazy destruction. Buildings shake from the sonic scream. Seems like the whole city, part of this is gag stuff. Like, yeah. Like the whole city, like, yeah. Implying they could blast away a city, I guess. Ridiculous screams. It's a common power that female superheroes have, the yell. Can suck up fire. Some of these abilities they have is because the writers probably made them up as they go by on each episode. There seems to be quite a few abilities that they all share. Or they at least show at random parts of their story. Like they all seem to have energy blasts on certain occasions. On this bridge, they can just blast away. Seem to have the ability to create tornadoes thanks to raw speed. When the writing needs it, they can go invisible, I guess. When the writing demands it. Then Bubbles and Blossom, they said, why not do it too? They all seem to have laser vision. Yeah. Super breath. X-ray vision. Create copies of themselves. Or turn into water. Shrink. Turn into that. Make stuff disappear. Big eyes, just all the miscellaneous things you can think of when it comes to superpower. Special team attacks, like the Furious Flame Feline, when they combine together, it seems. Special team move. Strength-wise, like throwing this gigantic machine from Mojo Jojo into space. Blossom also has shown the strength to fight giant monsters and blitz them. Monsters that are the size of buildings. Pulls back on this missile, showing their strength yet again. Gotta respect it. She can strike the street that hard to make a split, strong enough to rip doors off a car. Bubbles can swing around wrecking balls. If we assume this wrecking ball is anything like wrecking balls in real life, they can vary from half a ton up to 6 tons. Bubbles can hit the street hard enough, make a shockwave to send cars flying like that. Knocks this massive metal globe off a building with their strength. Can literally shove aside a building by pushing it. Knocks an alien to a flying saucer, blitzing them, then throws them in it. Then throws the saucer that far. Giant building-sized robots, they're strong enough to curb stomp it like nothing. Giant monster that's building size gets blitzed. Creates shockwave that hard with her clap to shatter glass. Buttercup is strong enough to fly through multiple buildings. There was this very strong man that was lifting up a big chunk of a mountain, as you can see. She lifts him up while he's holding that up to show how strong she is. Their version of the Avengers. Strong enough to rip the metal skin off a missile of her strength. This giant monster literally got sent to space that fast, knocking stuff into the sky with just a baseball bat. Giant water tower, she can literally lift him up because she's strong like that. Used it in this occasion fighting this monster, of course. A water tower can weigh 500,000 pounds when it's empty. When it's got water in it, it can weigh 1 million pounds. This water tower, she can lift 250 tons. This balled up giant dragon simply throws to where they go through different buildings, split a giant monster made of roaches in half with their teamwork, smashes a frozen meteor into the point where it's not even dangerous to the people below no more. Does it again while wearing a spacesuit. They can just shatter it. They could just blitz through several metal doors because of power. They got a bus, an airplane, and a ship thrown at them. They are strong enough to catch these heavy things. Obviously, it's a cartoon. The ratio of how big these are versus their bodies should be bigger because not even the airplane looks like it's an actual real-sized airplane, but the writer intends for this actually to be like an actual airplane, and the plane should at least weigh 45 tons. Can pretty much lift up mountains, which can weigh billions of tons just to prove herself better than the guy lifting this up. And she's strong enough to lift him up on top of this. Billions of tons easily. Not to mention the estimated weight of Mount Everest, which seems to be the mountain they was lifting in this occasion, is to be more than 350 trillion pounds or over 100 billion tons. So you got a good idea of just their strength in general, not in how strong they can hit with their speed used on top of their strength, because everybody knows that you can use your speed to increase your overall power in general, because speed is power. If you ram into something with enough speed, it can create a lot of energy. Working together, the Powerpuff Girls was able to nullify a solar flare. Part of this is actually because of their speed. A solar flare that would have been pretty devastating. This is like on some island-shattering levels of power, at least. The bare minimum power of a solar flare, just to get an idea of the scope, scientifically speaking, it will be equivalent to millions of 100 megaton hydrogen bombs exploding at the same time. Keep in mind, this article said millions of 100 megatons. In real life, the biggest bomb in existence was only 50 megatons. The article literally said millions of 100 of megaton hydrogen bombs exploding at the same time. They counted something this big working together based on the sun. Part of this is thanks to their speed and reflexes, how they was able to perceive a particle beam, showing their fight speed and flight speed are around the same level. The beam is literally slowed down, so she can see, she's literally following it with her eyes. Yeah, they all can see it with their flight speed. Literally outspeed the beam, show how fast they are. Intercepting her. They can now dodge it too with speed, reflexes, fighting speed wise. You can see them fighting. It's like a blur. Not only flight speed, they can literally just jog at ridiculous speed, like the road does that with their speed. Was able to reflect all this stuff with her fighting speed. Like, yeah. Bubbles, for example, showed her speed in like a fun little race with the superheroes of this universe. Showing her raw speed. Causing that much collateral with their speed, like around the world, run around the world and no problem, just straight up sprinting. Yeah, it was just light work to her. She was trolling the whole time. They obviously ran around the world in less than an hour or even less than a minute, really. I mean, they can rub their hands fast enough to create fire without just using energy blast, just friction. The Powerpuff Girls don't mind speed blitzing like they did to Gang Green Gang. Yeah, it was like instant. Literally deflects them that way. They can use their speed in convenient ways like cleaning up the whole place. In this occasion, dodging laser blast, can literally fly faster than the eye can follow. They're literally invisible. Another occasion showing their speed of straightening the ground underneath them. And yeah, blitzing this monster to where you can't even understand what's going on. Speed fast enough to travel through time. Like, what the heck? Bruh, it's some Speed Force type stuff. I would definitely say they're probably faster than the speed of light for sure. I mean, look how they flew around the world relatively quickly. You can see it. It's literally happening in real time. This is like nothing to them. Logically speaking, I'd say they should be able to move and fight at the speed of light. That shouldn't even be an argument. Show their casual speed. Fast enough to create several after images on screen. Like you can see it right there with the way they're moving. Like, yeah, they was able to survive. A missile that was nuclear explosion level. Yeah. Man, they're okay from all that mess. This adds up with the feat I showed a little while ago about them being able to stop a solar flare. This kind of makes sense with their durability. They should be able to punch a city in half with ease. They seem to have invulnerability to heat too, like going into a volcano of crazy heat, and they just flying through it like it ain't no big deal without even having no special suit on or nothing. When they got like blitzed into the ground, they made like a gigantic crater in the middle of the city. Their body had to withstand these same attacks. Look at the area of effect it produced from that shockwave. Yeah, it kind of looked nuclear-like. The crater was big. They're even strong enough to add like tracks for the train, showing their durability too. Girls have their own universe's version of the devil, him. He casually moved Earth to its proper orbit when it was getting hurtled to the sun. You don't really see the Powerpuff Girls actually slugfested with this guy. But one can make an argument that they could be planetary possibly. He's their universe's physical manifestation of pure evil. But for the most part, guys, I hope you guys respect the Powerpuff Girls. They was my childhood. I'm not gonna lie, it was one of my main shows I watched. One of my favorite episodes is when the Rowdy Rough Boys came. It was interesting to see people that were equivalent to them, but were boys, fight them. The popularity even grew. They even had anime versions of themselves, so that's awesome. But what do you guys think? How strong do you think they are? Did you know they was this strong?